If you need help getting to this point right here where there's no barrel or recoil spring, you can click the link at the top right hand corner. That'll take you to a video showing you how to get to this point. Once you get here, come back to this video and follow it along. The things you're going to need to perform this is a 1/16 punch, a armor's block. I'm using the SIG armor's block. You don't need to necessarily use this one. You could use a regular armor's block. And if you don't have either one, you could just use the table to brace the striker assembly. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 1/16 punch and we're going to place it right over this area right here. And what that is, that's part of your striker assembly. And we're going to push inward, and then that's going to compress the striker assembly. Once you have that compressed, you're going to basically tilt the punch so this way it pushes the back plate off. It'll look something like this. So put the punch right over that square. We're compressing inward, and I didn't even have to do that. It just pops right out. So basically, I'm going to put my thumb over this area just in case. So this way, when I remove the back plate, the striker assembly doesn't shoot out because it's under spring tension. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our finger and we're going to push this silver piece. We're going to push that in this direction, just like that. And there's your striker assembly. Set the slide down. I'm going to change the camera angle and I'll show you how to disassemble the striker assembly. If you don't have a regular armor's block or a SIG armor's block, you can do everything on the table. The only difference is that you may slip around a little bit more just using the table, but it's still doable. If you have a regular armor's block, you're just going to put this part right here into the hole that fits, just like that. But in this video, I'll be using this SIG armor's block. It just makes it a little bit easier for you guys to see what I'm doing because it's taller. And I'm just going to put, again, this part right here into this hole, just like that. The goal here is to take this spring right here and compress it down. And once you compress that, this red collar here is actually two pieces. They're called cups. And once we get the spring compressed, you're going to remove both of the cups and slowly release the pressure of the spring. So let me show you what it looks like. So I'm going to grab with my right hand high up on the spring, and I'm going to compress down just like that. And then I'm going to remove the cups with my left hand. There's one, there's two, and then slowly release the pressure. And there you go. Take this off, set that aside. Remove this part from the armor's block. We need to remove the striker from the sleeve. Now you notice there's this piece right here. It's part of the striker. And if you were just to try to push that out of the sleeve, that part's going to hit this part of the sleeve. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that the striker is pushed up against the end of the sleeve. Then we're going to take this part and we're going to tilt it down slightly. Again, you want to be delicate with this because you don't want to break anything. So you're going to push down nice and easy. Once you push down, then push it out to the left. And then this part comes right off of the striker. And then you could take this little spring off, set that down. And there you go. You have successfully disassembled the striker assembly. So now let's put everything back together. The first thing we're going to do is pick up the striker plus the little spring. We're going to slide that little spring onto the end like that and then slide it all the way back. So now we can install the sleeve. There's two parts of the sleeve. There's the complete circle on this side, and on the other side there's a half circle. We're going to put the half circle onto the end of the striker right here, okay? Keeping this part right here facing downward. With the striker, we're going to keep this piece facing up. So it's going to look like this, just like that. And we're going to slide that spring into the sleeve like this. Next, we have to get this little piece that's hanging down on the striker into this channel right here. How we do that, you're going to push to the right, but you're going to pull up slightly just to get over that little notch of the sleeve. And it's going to look something like this. So up, over, and then in. There you go. So now you can see this little silver piece right here is now into the channel, the open channel of the sleeve. And also that spring is in there as well. Now we have spring tension again. Next, we take our armor's block we put the striker and the sleeve into the armor's block, and then we take our spring and we're going to put this over the striker. But before I do that, I want to explain how the cups work. When the cups are together, they form a collar like this. The long part of the cups will go into the spring. It looks like this. And so you could see this top part of the two cups will capture the spring. And so this part right here, the top part of the collar, will have to be captured underneath this ridge right here of the striker. All right, so that's the idea. So let me show you how it's done. We're going to take the spring, we're going to put the spring over like that. So high up on the spring, start compressing downward like that. Grab the first cup, insert it into the spring like this. I'm going to move it over to the right, so this way I can get the second cup in. And here's the second cup, just like that. Boom. Now it's in. There you go. So it's captured. The other thing we want to make sure is, so if you look right here, right there, all the way up, that's the separation of the two cups. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that the ending of this spring is not where the separation is of the two cups. So where I have mine placed right now, that's where you want it. And if yours isn't there, what you do is you just take your fingers, wrap it around the collar, and then just rotate until you get this part right here where there's not an opening between the two separated cups. Once you've done that, you have successfully put everything back together for your striker assembly. So now I'll reposition the camera so I can show you how to put the striker assembly back into your slide. What we're going to do is we're going to take this part of the striker assembly and we're going to insert it into that hole right there. But we're going to make sure that this silver part, right, this piece right here, is facing upward, just like this. And this silver part will get inserted into this channel right here, just like that. And now it's time to put the back plate onto the rear of the slide. What we need to do first is we need to compress the striker assembly sleeve inward, and then we can install the back plate. But I like to set the back plate in position so it's easy just to slide it on. So you take this part of the back plate and this part of the back plate, and you line that up with this area right here and this area right here. So it's going to look like this. Okay, so now it's lined up just like this. All right. So now all we have to do is we have to compress the sleeve inward, and then with the thumb you can push the back plate up into place. So you take your 16th punch and you're going to put it on this area right here, and you're going to compress that in. It's going to look like this. So compressing in, pushing up with my thumb like that, and then remove the 16th punch, and you can see the back plate just falls right into place. Congratulations, you have successfully removed the striker assembly, disassembled the striker assembly, put everything back together on your PPQ Q5 Match. If you thought the video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Also, if you're in the market for CCW insurance, check out Right to Bear. Link is in the description below. Use coupon code UBR10 to get 10% off your entire order. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and tell a friend about the channel. Every subscriber helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.